So for this episode, in quarantine times, we are all recording independently in our own houses, and we're going to overlay it on top of each other. So hopefully this turns out good, but we'll see. Also, special announcement, we have a guest with us, our friend, Mr. Anish Kottu. He's going to be having his own podcast coming out. Anish, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So basically, it's basically a podcast called The Break. We basically talk to students or like anyone in general, honestly, about something that they're passionate about. So they just talk about like why they're passionate about it, what got them into it, and just like kind of delve into like what kind of motivates them in day-to-day life. So yeah, I mean it's coming soon. So we have an Instagram. So shameless plug time at The Break Pod. That's our Instagram handle. So just give us a follow.
All right, cool.
Thanks,
Sounds good. Well, check out Anish's podcast.
How do you spell that?
THEBREAKPOD.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go
So
check
follow
it out.
Anish's
What
podcast. It's coming out.
platforms are going to be available on?
Like Spotify, Apple Podcast. You pretty much like most places you'd probably listen to this on.
This isn't for me. It's for the viewers. You know?
So like I don't know, like Apple Podcasts, like SoundCloud, Spotify.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
You've heard of SoundCloud rappers. Anish is a SoundCloud podcast.
SoundCloud podcast.
I'm just saying we can't leave anything up to chance.
Hey, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, check out Anish's podcast. He'll be guest speaking on this one with us. So the movie we're doing is Wolf of Wall Street, and I honestly didn't really have a bit to do before it. Since we're all in quarantine, though, I thought it'd be interesting. Everyone go around and talk about when was the last time you left your house. I know that I haven't left my house in 3 days. Brian left his house today.
5 minutes ago, I was outside my house, moving out of college, so that was fun.
Anish, how long has it
Sad.
been since you've left your house?
And he's just like 3 months. It's like, quarantine started like a week ago. It's like, yeah, I know.
Maybe a few days.
Nice.
I feel like the last time I went out was to like get something from GameStop.
Have you not even left your house to just go outside? Like, not even for a walk or anything?
He doesn't do that normally, dog.
Yeah, I don't do that normally.
But like, would you, even now that you've been inside for a week, wouldn't you just like, man, I just need to walk, stretch the legs? You literally have not left the house.
I mean, like, I define going outside as like leaving your immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Driving or someplace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like I mean, I've been like outside, but like I haven't like gone outside to like.
The last time I left the house, I went yesterday actually, I think, to get some stuff from college. And then I saw the little note that's like, oh, put your keys in here. So I'm going to go back like some point to get everything because I wasn't planning on fully moving out, but they have like envelopes for you to put your keys in.
Yeah.
So.
Has anyone done anything especially interesting? Today I was so bored. Like, I was just like looking through stuff. I'm pretty far through the Diary of a BK series right now. I'm on book 12.
The books?
Wait, there's 12?
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
so
there's,
many.
there's
have
14 actually.
Do you have
I
the
get to like
books?
5, I think.
Yeah. My sister's bought all the books up till 14. So I've been diving through. Some pretty interesting stuff.
I hit a record low like 400 steps on Tuesday, and I thought that was kind of funny. Like, I'm not joking. I'll show you the
thing
health
I've been
app.
doing.
Like, it was 460 or something.
Is what I was trying to get Anish to do with me, is just because to get
The
outside.
Murph challenge.
Yeah, it's called the Murph workout. There's no gym anymore. All the gyms are shut down. 'Cause
I'm actually
that's-
probably going
Are
to
they
order
really?
a pull-up bar.
Huh?
I didn't.
I'm
think
probably
the
gonna
gym-
order.
I guess it makes sense. I didn't
Oh,
realize.
dude,
how
gyms
much it
spread hella drugs.
Nah.
Or germs, not drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah, it's like one of the places.
And
you
drugs.
go.
Yeah. So,
No, I'm
Yeah.
probably going to get a pull-up bar because I've just been doing... I haven't been
practice
able
those
to do much. I have a
pull-ups if you want
resistance
to do it,
band,
man.
that's it.
It's a mile, and then 100 pull-ups, 200
Yeah,
push-ups,
I
300
might.
squats, and then another
I've just
mile
been doing
at the
that
end.
shit at home, bro.
It takes us such a long time, and you feel dead afterwards, but it's good because it
No,
takes
it's
a long
gonna
time,
take
and you're
you
outside
like
the house.
3 days.
It won't take you 3 days. It'll take you like 3 hours at most. At most.
Dude,
I
no
think,
way.
I
What
think
are
it'll
you
take you.
talking about?
I think it'll take you actually 2.5 hours.
Brian's saying this after having climbed an entire mountain while carrying a niche. So I think
When I did it like 2 days ago, I the first time I did the Murph, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that was with my sister. And then when I did it again 2 days ago by myself, I did it in hour 50 minutes. So I think you could do it in like 2 hours and 45 minutes, easy.
Brian, do you understand we're at the opposite ends of the like
But
spectrum?
you won't have to do the full like. That's why I say
I
you
actually
do, like,
think Anish weighs double.
you do
I mean,
like
I don't know.
assisted
No, that's-
push-ups and
that's probably not
pull-ups
true,
and
but-
squats and whatnot.
What do you guys talk about? The extremes of the human body?
But anyway, yeah, that's really all I've been doing.
Should we like talk about the movie?
Yeah, I was gonna
Alright.
say.
All right, everyone. This is Overrated. Just pause for like a second for the theme song. All right, we're back.
That's how that's done, dude. I've always wondered. Not another
No, 'cause
insider
we-
trick.
Let's drop into some categories. We'll start with where were you? So I watched this for the first time a few days ago while in quarantine. Very risky thing to do because of all the nude scenes. My parents could have walked in any second. Anyone else?
I watched this today. I didn't
For
realize
the first time?
Wait, for the
Yeah,
first time?
For the first time, I watched it
Wow.
today. I was skeptical of the movie for the longest time. I don't know. I just didn't like. It didn't seem that interesting. And then when I saw it was 3 hours, I was gonna watch it last night, and then I saw it was 3 hours long, and I was like, "Oh God, this is."
Yeah.
It's
But I'll get
definitely
into
a
it
lot
later.
of
But
movie.
I really enjoyed the whole movie, and the 3 hours went by a lot quicker than I thought it did. But yeah, I watched. So this is hot and fresh off my mind. The whole movie. I watched the movie and then went to move out.
I watched it like probably. Well, the first time I watched it was like probably my senior year of high school or something like that. I don't remember, honestly. It's been a while, but I watched it like a few days ago just to like watch
Yeah,
it.
honestly, same. I think I watched it for the first time like a while ago, senior year probably, and then like yesterday I like rewatched some scenes and like reread through the plot, and I was like, oh yeah, because I kind of forgot some stuff that happened.
Did you watch it in theaters?
No.
Either of you?
No.
Well, senior year, would you have been? I guess you would have been 17.
I think I just watched it.
It
on
came
my
out
phone.
like in 2013 or something though. It came out a while
Yeah,
ago.
it came out a while ago. Yeah.
Like everything I'd heard about this movie, like leading up to it, it was like the only thing I'd heard about it was that it starts with a sex scene, and I was like, okay, and it did
Right.
disappoint. It did start with a sex scene.
No, yeah, the only thing I heard about it was you and Akash just memeing about it. He's like, oh man, I watched it on
Akash
the
was
plane with my parents, and there was like a guy
I'll never forget that
smoking
story.
cocaine off of a stripper's ass, and I was like, okay. Wait, hold up. Yeah,
All
anyway.
right, moving on. We'll move on. Next category is score it. So give your rating of the movie. We'll start with personal rating, and then we'll guess the Rotten Tomatoes score. So I'll start personal score. I thought it was pretty good. Like it was definitely entertaining the whole way through, but I definitely got bored in the middle. So I think I'll give it like 83%.
Yeah, probably about the same. It was a pretty interesting movie. Like there was like a lot of really good scenes just because like Leonardo DiCaprio is like such a good actor, but like yeah, it was definitely a little too long, and like there was some parts where I was like, alright, like it's kind of boring, but there were always like good scenes throughout them. So yeah, I'd probably give it like an 85-ish.
Anish, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go 85. Cause like I actually like it. Like I find it really entertaining. But it's kind of like overkill, you know? Which might be kind of the
No,
point
but-
too.
No, yeah, the
You
point
might
is
even
like
say
the
it's
stuff that happens.
overrated.
No, the
But,
point is
yeah.
like some of the stuff that happens is so absurd that you're like, there's no way this could possibly happen. But I think some of that stuff like actually did happen with the whole.
Yo, you'd be
Like,
surprised.
in Wall
like,
Street.
as
Yeah, like,
crazy
that's
that
why it's,
lifestyle
like-
is. I've seen people who do.
It's
live
like an
that.
actual thing, yeah.
Although yeah, I'm sure some of it is a little grandiose, but I actually really enjoyed this movie, and probably more than you guys, is if I were to give it a rating, it'd score like a. I don't remember watching a movie anytime recently where I've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed watching Wolf of Wall Street, and at least for me, even though it was 3 hours long, I initially dreaded it. I was like, oh god, but I was entertained the whole entire way, so I would give it almost like 94, 95. Like, it pushes top 10
Wow.
movies I've seen, in my opinion.
Wow, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, also, side note, have you guys heard the song Jordan Belfort? I know Sujay and Anish. Sujay
No.
has.
I haven't.
Oh, give
Yeah,
it a
it's like the
listen.
song, like, it's all the white people like turn.
It's like, it's called Jordan Belfort, and it's like
It's
about
what
the
it's
dude,
what white people
but,
think
like,
lit music is. Like
It's so
Genuinely.
funny, though.
Who's it by?
Like, it's...
some rando.
Wait. Yeah, it's like some... It's not Froggy Fresh. It's not Froggy Fresh, but
How did you hear about it then?
I think Akash showed me.
Okay.
Will knows it too, I know. Actually, you know,
Okay.
because Will was like, have you heard this song? Like, as a meme. I know, but you guys...
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
this
I
is my
know this
plug.
song.
Yeah, Jordan
Yeah.
Belfort.
Hey,
Yeah.
add a little clip right here.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Belfort. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping these birds. Sipping on Ciroc, trip 'em up with the words. I done popped the Molly and I think it's be my third. Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
But yeah,
A
this is my
little clip
plug
of
for
Jordan
Jordan
Belfort
Belfort
right here.
But yeah.
All right, we'll
Just
go on
something I thought
to
was
guess
funny,
the
yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes score. So, I think this is definitely one of the movies where the audience has definitely liked it better than the critics. We're guessing both audience and critic scores.
Right.
So I'll say 80 for critics, 87 for audience.
Yeah, I think critics would probably... Because the thing is, though, like, all the critics like Leonardo DiCaprio movies for the most part. Because, like, he's just such a good actor. So I'll give it, like, an 86 critics. Give it, like, a 92 audience.
Mm.
I'll give it a
Anish.
90 audience and 80 critics.
I think that the audience would not like it as much. 77. And
Jesus,
the critics,
why?
to be
It's
fair-
really
because
to
it's,
be
it's,
fair, though,
it's
it
like
would
would be
the
very
classic
divided. Like,
entertaining-
could you not see, like, you either like it or you hate it, right? There's no really
Yeah,
like.
that's fair.
It's like, okay.
All the people who hate it are the people on
Yeah, I
Wall
guess.
Street. Like, this isn't actually how I live.
No, not even that. Like, I could see people who would just not enjoy the movie
Like,
at all.
if you
Yeah,
just
no,
didn't
yeah.
enjoy watching people get high for like 3 hours, then it would not be the movie for you.
Critics
I mean, who
wise,
doesn't,
I
though,
mean,
you
it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and the director was Martin
Scorsese.
Scorsese. Yeah, that's
he's
how you pronounce his
pretty
name.
pretty big names up there.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked how some of his choices of like scenes and cinematic, but I'm not a critic as well, and so I'm gonna guess. I'll go 77 as well, because I know it didn't.
77.
What the? For
Both
both?
ways.
Okay. I think so actual Rotten Tomatoes score, I think Anish and I were closest for the critics. It was
Yo.
79 for critics.
Sick.
And I
Oh.
think Brian was closest for audience. It was 82 for audience.
Damn, I overshot.
So lower than at least most of us
Dang.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
this movie also-
Higher than all both my scores.
Yeah, so this movie also won a Golden Globe for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. Leonardo, obviously, but yeah.
This
Did
was
he win
wait.
an Oscar?
Was this yeah, he hadn't won an Oscar yet because he won his first Oscar for Revenant, right?
But he
Oh,
must have
yeah,
been
no.
nominated, right?
Yeah,
He was nominated.
There's
He was-
no
he was nominated
awards
for all
this
of these.
movie.
But that was like the meme because he never won it until like he was like literally dying and they were like, "We're not gonna give you an Oscar." Because I know we watched Django and Chain too, and like in that one scene he like actually bleeds and breaks his hand and it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, still not gonna give you an Oscar though."
I mean,
All right.
honestly, I think like his best performance was not in Revenant. They just gave it to him. Like, honestly.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not
He did
what your
really
best
good in this
performance
movie
is.
though.
It's relative to what's out there that year, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's not,
true, that's
It's not
true.
all
That's
time.
true.
It's just what's the rest of the competition look like that year. So
Yeah.
sometimes it might not be
Yeah.
like if you have a stacked year, there are
Yeah.
going to be good people who get stiffed, and you know.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on then to our favorite scenes and quotes. So I'm just gonna go chronologically, and then if you guys have any that you want to add in that happened like before or after mine, just go ahead. So I'm gonna start with the first one I remembered was the scene with Matthew McConaughey where he's talking about what it means to be a stockbroker, and basically how he needs drugs and sex to just keep it together.
Mr. Hanna, you were able to do drugs during
fuck else would you do this job? Cocaine and hookers, my friend.
Right. I gotta say, I'm incredibly excited to be a part of your firm. I mean, the clients you have are absolutely...
Fuck the clients. Your only responsibility is to put meat on the table.
So I think this was a really nice scene because it foreshadows what Jordan will eventually become. Because, like, he's sitting there at the table and he's like, you're able to do drugs all day and still function. And then Matthew McConaughey says, how the fuck else would you do this job? So
He's so innocent.
that's basically, yeah, like you can tell, like, this is exactly what Jordan's going to become, too. So.
Well, no, you already know. I like how the movie...
Yeah,
did
I mean,
the
if
thing
you-
where
you-
it went
you know
forward,
going in
it
that it's
wasn't
gonna turn into this.
chronological
Yeah.
in part. It started out with, like, some showing you, like, oh, this is
Him
me,
actually
like,
like, this is my
mostly-
house, this
and
is
then
my...
it goes back, and
this is
then
my
it
wife,
jumps
yeah.
around. I think that's really nice, because a lot of movies either don't do that period, or they don't do it properly, and I feel like this movie did it really well, and where they sort of jump
I
back
think-
and forth and let the viewer
Yeah.
see enough, but also not know enough.
I think I might have the
Yes.
next scene, Sujay. Well,
Okay,
you
yeah.
used to. Well, I was gonna say one of my favorite ones is the one where he's like, "Sell me this pen." Is that
Oh,
your
yeah.
next one?
That was not my next one, but yeah, sure.
I
That one's
really
a
like
good
that
one,
s-
too.
I like that scene because like it kind of showed how like what kind of like that's kind of the first time you get to see like, oh, he's not just like this guy who's always been on drugs. Like he has a really good strategy. Like he's motivated. He knows what he's doing, and it's like the art of the hard sell or whatever. And like I thought that was really cool to watch when it's like, because like he's gonna sell it by doing something like you wouldn't think of, but it's always still cool to like see because he's like, sell me this pen, and then like they all just like, oh yeah, like this, and then I think later
Are you
in the end of the
talking
movie
about
that's what he does.
the first scene?
The
Where he
first,
goes out-
the f-
when he introduces his initial posse.
yeah, that one. But then it's also kind of cool because it ties in
He's
because
not
the
the one
end
who's
of the
doing the
movie.
selling, but yeah, I mean,
He's yeah.
Well,
but
the
it
first
also
time we
kinda
see him
ties
sell, the first time we see him sell is airtime, right? When he goes
Yeah.
to that penny stock.
Yeah, that was
company.
actually my
Uh,
next scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know, but I kind of just like this one better, but because it also kind of ties in because the end of the movie, he's doing this seminar and stuff, and he's like, sell me this pen. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
because I kind of like that. I thought it was a good like parallel because like it's the beginning and the end, but he's still doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my next scene was actually the airtime one.
Yeah, okay, that
What are you
was.
doing today? You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell? Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute? Name of the company, Aerotine International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on a next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now, John, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000.
Jesus, that's my mortgage, man.
Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
This stock will pay off my house.
John, one thing I can promise you, even in this market, is that I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners. I ask them to judge me on my losers because I have so few. And in the case of Aerotine, based on every technical factor out there, John, we are looking at a grand slam home run.
Okay, let's do it. I'll do 4 grand.
4,000, that'd be 40,000 shares, John. Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good, John?
Sounds good.
Great. Hey, John, thank you for your vote of confidence, and welcome to the Investors Center.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
How'd you fucking do that?
That was the one I thought he really highlighted, like what a good salesman he is, because like it shows his natural talent and it shows like him just like selling something to like someone who like he knows it's crap, but like he's convincing this guy that it's not.
And it's important too because I think in a lot of movies that like this was based off an autobiography, I guess, or memoir or whatever.
Well, it's there's an actual dude.
It's
named Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, whatever. So
Yeah.
like a lot of movies that adapt that will like assume that you know that they're good at that thing, but like it's
Yeah.
important that like movies like this like kind of show like them being good at
Yeah,
that thing,
like how you're good at the thing,
how
yeah.
they're good at that thing, you know. So I think that was
Oh,
important.
did you guys actually notice Jordan Belfort's in that movie? Like he's in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end, yeah, I just it was cool because he like introduces, he's like Jordan Belfort. It's like, oh, that's him too.
Reminds me, there was another movie. Have you seen this Will Smith movie, The Pursuit of Happiness?
Dude,
I
okay,
have not,
that's
but I heard it's
that's,
I have not. I know
that
it's
is-
really good.
No,
but
that
I
is
have
my
not.
favorite movie of all time. Like,
Are you
no
for
joke.
real? The one
I'm
where
not even kidding.
Okay, anyway, but it just reminds me of that.
I know
'cause
it's not
also-
the best, but like,
Oh no,
it's
it's
my
a good
personal
movie.
favorite.
I only brought it up because there's parallels where it's a guy who's trying to go into Wall Street and do selling, and
Yeah.
then, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it because for all the other
Sure.
listeners. But then also it's
Yeah,
funny
I
because
wanna-
at the end of that movie, it's an autobiography, right, of the guy.
Yeah,
The guy's
that's
also
true.
in there, and it features him with Will Smith. So it's like a
Yeah.
little nod. He makes a cameo
Yeah.
as well. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend checking it out.
So my next scene is his first sale with Stratton Oakmont.
What do you? I don't know. What are you thinking?
Kevin, you give me one shot here on a blue chip stock like Kodak. And believe me, Kevin, the only problem you're gonna have is that you didn't buy more. Sound fair enough?
Shit. My wife might divorce me, but yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah.
Excellent choice, Kevin. How much you want to go for this time?
Let's do $5,000.
We try 8,000, Kevin.
All right, let's do 10.
10.
You want to do that?
Excellent choice. Kevin, let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you in a few minutes with an exact confirmation, Kevin. And welcome to Stratton Oakmont.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna have a beer. It's fun.
Take it easy, Kev.
Hey, thanks, Jordan. Thanks a lot.
Where he's he's still like highlighting what a good salesman he is, but just like how cocky he is now. Like he's literally just like, he never really cared about the client, but now he's just like literally saying fuck you to them, like to their face. Like, and like everyone in his company is like basically watching him do this, and like they have like so much, I guess, respect for him. Like he's so good at it, but they're also just like memeing, so it's like just really funny to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely to know, like, this is a funny movie. It's not just like
It's a
not
good-
super
yeah,
intense,
it's
like,
good.
yeah,
There's
it's,
some
they
funny
do
scenes,
it. Some of the over the top stuff is so that it is just hilarious. But I think he got like the fuck you attitude when he was at his first branch. I don't remember the name, that went broke.
Yeah.
Like Monday, because that's what, when the guy was like his
Yeah.
mentor, the two bosses, they were like, yeah, we don't
Yeah.
care if the client makes money, we just care about moving the stocks around because we get a part of that
Yeah.
commission. So it sort of stems from that, and I guess that's what they're trying to make like Wall Street all seem like. It's like, oh, they don't care about the actual clients, they care about money.
Yeah. All right, my next one is like towards the end of the movie, so it's possible that you guys have scenes in between now. It's actually my
I'm
last
trying to
one.
think. Yeah, okay. Well,
Oh, say your scene first. I don't know.
yeah.
I was
Alright,
gonna
so
say
mine
scene.
was like the entire get off the phone sequence, basically
Oh my
from
god!
Yeah.
when the
amazing.
lemons hit him
Yeah.
So
to him
beautiful.
conking out on the couch.
So beautiful. That is
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It's such a good
Yeah.
scene.
I love that
And
scene, actually.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
like,
sure this is everyone's
just-
favorite scene.
His internal monologue that's like reasoning all the stupid shit he's doing, like, and then just like seeing
Yeah.
Donnie like on the phone, knowing, and like you can like struggle with like Leo, and you can be like you know what's happening, and you
Yeah.
like feel for him, but it's just
Yeah.
such a struggle to watch him like trying to. And
It's like you know
there's,
it's
like,
coming
this-
too.
Then there's the side by side comparison of Popeye eating spinach
Yeah.
and Jordan just taking the cocaine, dumping it down his nose.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
just
scene really
amazing.
highlights how good of an actor Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio, because like
Oh, dude, he did
in that moment, like they're
Yo, Jonah
totally
Hill did
capable,
so
but they're
well.
having fucking cerebral palsy. Like they're acting like they've had the biggest like. I mean, like the way he crawls and rolls downstairs, right? Like you forget that he's doing this on purpose, right? Can you imagine just like taking your body and contorting it in the ways
Yeah,
he did
no,
while
for
he was
sure.
crawling around to
For
his
sure.
car or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
even
icing
when
on the
he's-
cake in that scene is like when he finds out that the Lambo they was actually destroyed, because it looks like he got home safe, but then the police come in and they're like, "Yeah, you destroyed your Lambo."
Yeah.
And actually, there's a note about that too. So, like, a lot of the scenes, I think Martin Scorsese has admitted this, like, have disconnects. So, especially after he like gets high, the following scenes will have like
Yeah.
like continuity errors because like he's supposedly high and like everything's through his perspective, right? So like his perspective.
That would
is
make a lot of
distorted and
sense
stuff like
actually, because
that.
I did notice a lot of stuff like that where I was like, wait a second, and I had to like rewatch it. But
Yeah, the
that
movie
makes
is
a lot- 'cause,
whack.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess reality is not certain.
Because there's also scenes.
Right.
There's also
Under the
scenes when like you
influence.
just wake up. There's a lot of scenes when he just like wakes up the next morning and you're like, what happened? And then like slowly he'll start talking and then he'll start remembering and it'll like flash back to the scene like the night before and he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, those are all of my scenes. Do you guys have anything you wanted to add?
I think I just remembered the one I was gonna say. I thought this is what you were talking about, but I kind of like the one like near the end. I think this might actually be after years, but it's when like he gets into a fight with his wife and he like drives the car into the tree and everything. Like that whole scene, like how it just
that was
starts
kinda
off
sad,
so.
honestly.
That's like the climax. All right,
But it's
I
a
don't
good.
know. It's
It's
definitely
because, like,
an intense.
it's such
moment.
a good way of like it starts so calm, and like the way he escalates it so quickly, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like it's
No,
just super. It was definitely really
honestly,
intense.
for me, honestly, it's just Naomi in that scene, because like the way
Yeah,
she
'cause
like
she's like
Dude,
knows that
whole,
he's a
like-
gone man now. Yeah.
no, but like she's like, I want you to fuck me like it's the last time, and like
Oh yeah,
have
I was
sex,
talking
and then,
after
yeah,
that
then-
kind of. Like,
that's insane. That's actually insane. Like what a
And then
way.
she's like, "Yeah, I want."
What a way to like announce a divorce, you know? Like
There are
Yeah.
a couple ones that. Well, okay, let's see. One scene, the first scene of Wolf of Wall Street I ever watched, like years ago when the movie actually just came out, and there was clips on YouTube and whatever, was the first scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, so Jordy Belmont, is it Belmont or Belfort?
Jordan
Belfort, and Naomi get into a fight, and she's throwing the water at him.
Had that driving range sodded with Bermuda grass,
Oh,
Jordan.
my
and now
God.
you fucking
Bermuda
wrecked
grass.
it. No, you didn't research the whole thing and deal with the fucking golf course people.
Oh my God, you had to deal with the golf course people too! What a Greek tragedy, honey, oh my God! You probably had to pay them in cash with your hands, what a fucking burden! And actually do some work besides swiping my fucking credit card all day, huh? Because I can't keep track of your professions, honey. Because last month you were a wine connoisseur, now you're an aspiring landscape architect. Let me get that right. No, you fucking dare throw that fucking water at me. Don't you fucking dare. All right, honey? And we could talk this out, all right? We just use our words, you know? Communicate, okay? Come on, sweetheart. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Stop flexing your muscles, Jordan. You look like a fucking imbecile.
Babe, come on, you should feel happy you got a husband who's in such great shape like this, huh? Come here. Come on, give me a kiss. You look so beautiful right now. Come on.
Kiss you?
You look so beautiful
Kiss
when you're
you?
here. Yeah, give me one. Fuck you!
Is that clip that's like really famous and it has like millions of views, and I was like, what is this? And I guess that's
so
why, like,
funny.
when I saw that scene, I was like, that's what I based the whole movie on. Is like, this is kind of weird. I don't know.
That's
like,
such a funny.
I was like waiting the entire
scene.
scene for her to throw the water, and I'm like, it's gonna
And then
happen.
he's like come here, and it's just
yeah, he's like you should be happy that you have
But I
a
mean,
husband
again,
as
I think
sexy as me.
I like that scene just because
it's like me when I take my shirt off.
how good of an actor he is.
Yeah.
Another scene that I liked was when they finally expanded the Strat in Oakland,
Stratton Oakmont, I think.
Oakmont or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good with names. But they got into like the new big office, and he's having like literally like his dictator Adolf Hitler like speech where he's on the podium and then he's like shouting to people, and people are like cheering and chanting and raving the whole time. And it happens multiple times throughout the movie, honestly. But the first time you're like, man, this is almost like a cult with like how insane that it gets.
I mean,
And-
no, Wall Street like low key is honestly sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like it is. Yeah,
it wasn't. It just was like that's the vibe.
it
that
is.
it's giving off.
This is what I imagine
Oh.
every fraternity meeting is like. Like just like one white guy just like screaming, and everyone's like, yeah, yeah.
Oh wait,
yeah.
we forgot the best quote, like the most famous one.
What's
The
the
one,
most
the one where he's like, he goes to give the speech to say he's gonna leave, and then he's like, I'm not leaving. He's like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not leaving.
He changes his mind halfway through. But
Yeah, I thought that was really
I like
good.
those, just like it shows not only is he a great salesman, like he has the skills for that, but he is also like a great leader, right? And he knows how to rally his troops and get people behind him. Like, I mean, you say what you want about Adolf Hitler, he was a bad guy, but he was a great leader. Like, he got people to, like, follow
you
him.
can't say this.
No, like...
I mean, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Like, how can he get a whole entire, like, nation behind him to do whatever?
Probably, like, word that a little differently.
Wait, he's right, though. I absolutely agree
Well,
with that.
No, and, like,
He was-
obviously what Jordy Belfort is doing is not good. He's scamming. It's completely illegal and, you know, scamming the economy out of millions of dollars. But he gets people behind him and impassioned, and that takes a little bit of a level of skill as well. It's like another
No, for
intangible.
Sure. I agree. I think there's another scene really famous. Like when Donnie and Jordan are just like first starting out. Jordan like confronts Donnie about like his wife, and
That was
Donnie's
He's like, show me the pay stub.
no,
Oh,
not
no,
that.
the one
not
where he's
that.
like, you
After that.
married your cousin.
He's like, I'm not gonna let anyone else fuck my cousin. If anyone's gonna fuck
Well,
my cousin, it's
I
gonna
wonder,
be me.
was that
You know,
based
like
on
out of
like an actual
respect.
fact? Because that just seems so strange to slip in. Like, it seemed like not.
I'm not
necessary.
sure if that's real.
So
but it'd be
Donnie
hilarious if it
Donnie was apparently based off of multiple people. So I don't know.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Okay,
Donnie?
never mind then.
Okay.
I didn't do. I like when I watch these movies that are based off of, if it's like an autobiographical or based on true events. The first thing I like to do is like see the actual story now, and because I'm seeing it's like, wow, something this crazy actually happened, and
Yeah.
it's almost like too crazy to believe. But I didn't have enough time because I I literally finished watching the movie, and then I had to move out, and now I'm back here. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of quest stuff that I'll probably look up later.
Yeah, this is a side note, but I just realized you can turn on captions on the video call, and they're actually kind of accurate. It's kind of cool.
What?
Alright,
Oh,
that's
dude.
it. Yeah, that's it.
In case you're deaf.
Alright, keep going.
Oh, that's so insane.
Yeah, but they're actually like kind of accurate. Dude, this is what the quarantine has done to us. This is what we find interesting.
Yeah,
but
there's
keep
only
going,
one
my
other
bad.
quote that I remember, and I'm probably done after
Yeah.
that. But it's something that really stuck out, which I think highlights how Jordy's like, he's almost a psychopath, right? Like throughout the times, it's like it's all about money and success, and that's or really just money, just driving him, and he sort of like falls out of touch with everything else around him. But it's when he divorces his first wife, and first she catches him cheating on him in the limo or whatever, right? And then they like confront each other, and then he has the voiceover, and then he was like, oh, I felt, and the voiceover is like, after that encounter I felt awful, it was like the worst I ever felt. And then he follows up, it's like, I filed for divorce 3 days later or something like that. It was like, it's like you say, he says one thing where it's like, I feel awful, I'm gonna make it up. Then he's like, yeah, but I'm just gonna divorce her and then just keep on going. And I was like, it just makes you think, it's like he doesn't really care. He might say some stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, then. I think we'll wrap
Wait,
up
last
with that category.
Last scene.
Yeah. Go for
Most,
it.
I think one of the most famous scenes definitely is Naomi and Jordan. Like they just had a fight or something, and then Jordan comes to apologize, and then Naomi is like, Daddy doesn't get to touch mommy.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
And there's like
That was a
Rocco like watching from the
It's like
the-
that's so
the-
you.
or
So
something.
not. I watch it for the plot. Okay.
No, apparently, fun fact. Apparently,
Anish, right?
after this movie, Margot Robbie got like tons of like NBA players following her after this.
Really?
Like it was insane, like the amount she like gained from this. But this was like her first movie or something apparently. So
Is
yeah.
it really?
Oh, really?
Her first
Yeah.
big one?
Like first like break.
It's probably her first big one
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like I definitely
Yeah.
don't remember seeing her this much like as she is now.
I guess it is
Yeah.
a really old movie. I keep on forgetting that it did come out in 2013,
2013.
which was 7 years ago, which is a little scary to
Yeah.
imagine. And that makes more sense, yeah. I always feel like it's only came out like 2 or 3 years ago, but I don't know.
All right, we'll move on then to our next category, the Zuko Award, choosing which character has the best development.
Wait,
I'm
Anish,
actually
have you
pretty
seen
interested in what you guys have. So I think we'll start. Everyone else go around, say just your character, no reasoning, and then we'll talk about it more.
Do you want to,
start?
for the viewers again,
Yeah, I'll
go
go,
over
I'll go.
what you mean by
Okay.
character development?
Yeah, which character has? I guess you learn the most about that. Just change. It doesn't have to change necessarily during the course of the movie, but just if you're confused, think about how much.
I have.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm gonna go for Donnie. I thought he had a pretty good character development because like
No
he
reasoning.
just starts off.
No reasoning.
Okay.
Wait, I don't get it. Is it who had the most character development, or who did like? What do you mean?
So like which character did they like?
Did they
I guess
flesh
you
out?
learn
the
more
most,
about
you know?
over the course. Yeah, flesh out. They get more over the course of the movie. You learn more about like what drives them, what's their motivations, and I guess how they change also over the course of the movie.
I mean, okay, I don't think I can pick anyone though. Like, is there really anyone who changes at all?
Not necessarily changes.
You learn
but
more about them. Yeah.
more that you learn more about.
I guess. I mean, I guess I'd probably pick Jordan then. Like, I don't know why not.
I go with Jordan as well.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, I also said Donnie, so
Hey,
Jordan,
Donnie
people you want to
J.
start?
Wait, why Donnie?
I mean, if you, in my
we'll
opinion, if
explain.
you're
You
talking
go
about the
first.
character that the most character development, I think it has to be Jordan. Like, not only is he the protagonist, or I don't know if you call him a protagonist, but he's the main central.
No, he's the
character.
protagonist.
But
Every
not only
villain
do
is
you
the
get to
hero of
like
their own story.
see him from beginning to end, but you also hear his thoughts, which is another thing I liked about the movie. How he breaks the fourth wall and is like, he's almost like this is a documentary, or I don't know. I thought he was gonna like address why he was doing that, but no, you just hear his thoughts. Even in times in other scenes, like when he's high off his mind on the lemons, he's like thinking. You can hear his thoughts. During the interview he had with the Swedish guy, you hear he's like, hey, like, are you gonna be like, you hear him thinking, and then it goes to the Swedish guy who's also thinking back, and so like it just, in my opinion, I feel like Jordan was clearly the most thought out character.
Yeah, I don't think you can do this movie without like having his thoughts like presented to the viewers, right? Like the whole movie is so like insane that like you have to understand what he's like thinking and going through. So I feel like it has to be Jordan because it's
You
his
could,
movie.
it wouldn't be as effective, but yeah, it really helped.
I mean,
Okay,
Yeah. Wait,
it
can
was
I say
definitely
one thing?
between
then
Donnie
you
and
go?
Jordan. Okay.
Okay, let me say one thing on why I thought it was Donnie, and then you can go. But the one thing that changed it for me was like Donnie has character development was like the last scene when Jordan's like, like the last scene with Donnie when he's like, I'm willing a wire, don't say anything incriminating. But then Donnie actually ends up, he tells the FBI, like he gives them the note later, and that's kind of, that's like what I think he gives them
who
the
else would
note.
it be?
I think when I was reading like, I think when I was reading like the plot synopsis or something like that, like or like when I was like refreshing, it's like Donnie gives the FBI the note, and that was like the one scene when I was like, oh, like he actually kind of changed, you know, because like he starts off as just like Donnie's best, like his friend, right, and then he's also like one of those like Wall Street motivated guys, like he only cares about money and stuff, but then I don't know what his intentions were for giving the note at the end, probably to like reduce his.
Well, see, that's
if
why
they
I was
found anything
confused.
on
I
him.
think that was one part of the movie I was a little confused about, because
I didn't think that Donnie
end?
gave them
I
the
don't.
note.
Yeah,
I thought he just found it in the
found
office.
it.
I think,
but also in the scene where it's like, you know, when the FBI barges in and starts arresting people, they never show the
Yeah.
FBI arresting
They
Donnie.
don't-
In fact, they show
they
him
never
looking
take
really
Donnie.
guilty in his own
'Cause-
office.
Yeah,
So
I think
like,
what happened
I know, but like
is
for
that
me,
Donnie took a deal.
I think I assumed that he gave.
I think Donnie took a deal with the FBI to like turn Jordan in return, like he like got off scot-free or something. I don't know. Something
maybe
like
yeah,
that.
because they never showed him arresting, so that either leads me to believe that he actually didn't reveal anything, and then they just found the notebook paper and it's like, oh, who did you like, or I don't know, like I was a little confused about that point.
But yeah, so for me, the reason, like, so Jordan definitely has like a great deal of character development, but the thing that like doesn't change things for me for Jordan is like not that he doesn't change that much over the course of the movie, but like my impression of him at the beginning of the movie is the exact same as the end. Like he doesn't really like he stays with his like conviction that he wants to make money, and like he doesn't really change over the course. Like he doesn't choose love, he doesn't choose his company, because he ends up selling out both of them, but he like stays with the money. I think the thing that Donnie I liked about him was at the beginning of the movie, like he has nothing. Like he just wants to make some money. He willingly quits his own job and joins Jordan. Not even because he wants to become a stockbroker, but because he wants to be rich. And he rises to second in command of the company, and he's poised to take over if Jordan leaves. So like, yeah, he's an idiot, and he like fucks over Jordan and Brad and the company over the course of the movie. But at the end, he has money, he has the job, and he has self-confidence, which is like none of which he had at the beginning of the movie. So that's my reasoning.
Okay, fair point.
That's fair.
Anyone want to add anything else to this category?
I think part of the point is that Jordan doesn't grow, though. That's my take.
Yeah,
I think the
fair.
point is that he's not supposed to grow. You're not supposed to really like anyone in this movie, right?
They showed a little bit at the beginning from like how he's so naive in the very beginning, but besides that,
yeah.
Okay, then we'll move on then to our next category: sequel or prequel. Could this movie have a sequel or prequel, and what would it be? I've said considering this movie is based on a real story and it kind of tells the whole story from start to end, I'd say no for both. Does anyone have any opinion other than that?
No, not really.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, autobiographical movies aren't like really known for their, so this makes it a really easy category.
Watch Pursuit for Happiness, though. It's also about a stockbroker who goes very far to get what he wants. So, good movie. Anyway.
All right, moving on then. We'll go right to Parallel Universe. And I've decided I'm going to add trivia to this one too, because there is a lot of trivia in movies that I just nowhere else on the podcast that we talk about it. So these are just like small changes that could have happened during the movie, which may have changed it entirely. So I have a couple things. Anish, you had something about funding too, which you can get to. But so the majority of this film was improvised, as Martin Scorsese encouraged the actors to do. Some improvised scenes include McConaughey's like chest beating scene during like Fugazi's speech at the beginning. Jordan, like you mentioned, Jordan attempting to get into his car while he was on lemons. That entire scene was improvised, like him just rolling around.
Really?
Which I thought was cool. Yeah.
Damn.
And all the deposition scenes were also improvised. So like when they're all like, all of the people in this company are like saying like what happens, those are improvised. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. They gave the actors a lot of leeway.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey's chest beating scene apparently comes from his warm-up routine or something.
Yeah.
And they used it later on when he starts doing it, and when he starts doing it at the company, everyone starts, and I'm like, shit, this is actually a cult. This is their like, how does everyone know this shit?
Yeah.
One of us. Yeah. Next, Margot Robbie, she was offered to wear a bathrobe to wear during her seduction scenes, but she purposely chose to do it full nude. She said that the whole point of Naomi is that her body is her only form of currency in the world. She has to be naked. She's laying her cards on the table. So Robbie said she had 3 shots of tequila in succession right before she did these scenes to relax.
What the? Damn.
But yeah.
That's wild, yeah.
Yeah. The actual Jordan Belfort obviously was in the movie, but he also coached Leo on a lot of the events that happened, including how he reacted to the drugs and how he like confronted other people. So I think that's pretty cool.
I almost want to read the memoir or like look back.
Read the book.
It's a book.
Or just see like how much is actually, because I know like movies are notorious for just, going and taking a story and making it.
Taking liberties, yeah.
Yeah, well, making it more movieable, movify it, but I don't know. It also, like, a lot of this stuff is so crazy that it could actually be true, and I just want to know what's real. And
I think a lot of it is true. I think sometimes they, like, condense it. So, like, there's a scene where, like... Right, so there's a scene where they, like, shave that woman's head, right? You remember when they shave that woman's head?
The kid that what?
They shave, like, one of the woman's...
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
In the
so,
office.
like, right after that... Right, and right after that, the marching band comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both those things like happened, but they weren't like at the same time.
The marching band and other entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, also like Steve was like, I think, one of the few things I did read was that he actually did crash his like insanely 170-foot yacht in the middle of the ocean and got wrecked. True. But I don't think it was because he was heading to Switzerland to get his like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like a lot of things might have been put together for the convenience of the plot, but
like I know the plane that rescues them actually gets. Yeah. So it does actually crash, but it doesn't crash like he doesn't see it crash. It's like it's not like
doesn't
right
see, like,
after.
A seagull fly into the.
No, but he does crash. So. Damn. Which is still pretty insane, honestly.
Yeah, no, like it's like stuff like that. Like normally movies would have to make up, but for these to actually happen.
All right, some more trivia. Like you said earlier, Scorsese admits that a lot of the scenes are oddly edited on purpose after Jordan takes drugs, so they lack continuity and the flow is weird. So that's a cool thing that he added. Some casting differences. So for the part of Naomi, Blake Lively and then Rosie Huntington Whiteley also auditioned for this part. Julie Andrews was considered for Aunt Emma, which is Naomi's aunt that he ends up having sex with.
He doesn't have sex with her though, right?
He does.
Does he in the movie?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I like made sure that I was like, is this the same girl? I don't think so. It was no. I'm like serious.
No,
I
it's
think
the same one.
No, right after that scene, right after was the Slovenian Swiss like stripper, right?
Was it? I don't know. There's a lot of sex.
I'm pretty sure. Like I wanted to make because like that's like a pretty big detail. Like, is that actually like did that actually happen or not? And I'm pretty sure it was the Slovenian Swiss stripper that was the wife of the drug dealer.
Brad.
Yeah, just the way I'm describing this movie and the character is just it's crazy. But yeah.
All right, and Chris Evans and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were both auditioned for roles. They didn't say which ones. I think
Gordon-Levitt could have done Leo.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt would have been Donnie probably.
Oh really? I feel like he
okay, so
could
play, like Leo was always interested in playing this part since he read Jordan Belfort's book. So I think he was pretty set for Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, if the director can get him, then he's like the first in line to play.
Yeah. Okay, so last bit of trivia. At this point, the word fuck was used the most times that's ever been used in a mainstream R-rated non-documentary film. Yeah. Would anyone like to guess how many times it was said in the movie?
75.
What? More than that. Definitely more
75?
Than that. No, I'm gonna guess like...
Guess like 300 or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 300.
Alright. Girish, how many times was fuck said in the movie? 5?
I don't know.
Which makes you like wonder like what was the dialogue in this movie that they said it that many times.
This was a long movie too, so like I wonder if that was like this is 3 hours worth of that. Even if Swear Wars like whatever that movie you said was like a 2 hour long movie, like and it was twice as many fucks said. Like I can imagine.
Alright, we'll keep going I guess, and then whenever Girish comes back he'll come back. Next category is personal impact. So how has this movie changed something that you think about in your life? I guess something that changed about me was stockbrokers. I knew they were well off, but I didn't know they were like this rich. Like it seems like almost like billionaire level. Like I guess I don't know what the difference is between this level and like Bill Gates and them, but it seems like they're doing pretty well for themselves. They're also like essentially like telemarketers or salesmen, and their jobs just like seem like kind of unreal. So I'm not sure if this job still exists today because of like technology and the internet and stuff, but it seemed pretty cool to watch them.
I think there's still stockbrokers today, but it's a bit more like people are buying and selling with computers rather than like literally punching it in. It's like, okay, let me.
Hey.
Okay, Girish is back.
Dude, my audio is gonna be so funny because it's just me talking, and then I'm like, guys, I think I left. Yeah. How many times was the F word said?
Oh, you're way behind me.
Oh, damn. Okay.
We're in personal impact now, but if you're curious, it was 569 times.
I said 400. If you guys couldn't hear it, I have it on the recording.
Okay.
Alright, personal impact. Stockbrokers. Anish, you have.
For me, it was kind of like stockbrokers in terms of like
the job
doesn't seem as hard as like we might have thought, because like all it really is being a good salesman,
Keep in mind that these guys, the stockbrokers that they showed in this movie,
Are the best of the
got
best,
rich because
yeah.
they were doing it illegally. Like it was stock manipulation and stuff. So like,
Sure.
So a lot of that money is
It
not
was
like
the pump and dump method, as they said.
and like earlier on they said stuff was like, oh, your boss is making $300K a year and this guy's making $1 million a year, which is still a lot of money, but I think that's more reasonable.
That's more
It's like
realistic,
the
yeah.
real, like the norm, I guess. They were
Yeah,
really
that's
showing
fair.
like the top illegal
Mhm.
activity.
I think another thing that I guess, I mean, I don't know if I learned this or like it kind of enforced my belief in it, is kind of like people who do shitty things but are super rich don't like have to really answer for their actions.
Yeah,
right?
I mean
'Cause,
that's like kind of a known thing though.
Yeah, but like
It's kind of just
kinda-
like
this is-
reinforces it, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reinforces it.
If you can like pay off the right people, I guess, and like,
Yeah.
if you're smart about it, then you know basically never will have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just thought of a really good scene, but I just wanted to say I really like the scene where he invites the FBI agent on his boat and they have
Yeah.
that little exchange.
Oh,
That was a
yeah,
really
and he
good
starts
scene.
throwing the money at him. That was
Yeah,
Just
that was-
throwing like a year's salary
Yeah.
off.
That was so good.
Okay, whatever. I think one of the personal impacts this movie had on me was, so it was actually kind of funny that we started watching this movie now because recently I'm not into the stock market or investing, but I have.
Oh, it's
been-
crashing.
No, I know
Oh,
that,
yo,
but like
yeah.
I've been getting more into it, like looking, like doing some research and just sort of like learning more about it. So a lot of the terms and sort of the ideas, it was kind of interesting to see him portrayed in a movie and then be like, hey, I just learned something like this and I'm starting to pick up stuff. Because I know in the movie, a lot of times he'll go on a tangent about something and then be like, oh, okay, you don't understand any of this. Just know that it's bad or just know that it's illegal. But I was like, oh, wait, I actually know what he's talking about. And
Yeah.
it was kind of sort of cool to see like the economical side of what he was doing
Speaking,
and understanding why it
yeah.
was so bad or so illegal.
Yeah.
Speaking of stocks, I'm actually probably going to invest soon because of how low the stock market is. So.
Girish, let me be the one who.
No,
introduces
I
you to
told
Robbie
Will.
Hood.
I told Will. Yo, if Will's listening, I'm a loyal. Will was the one. Will was the first one. He said he's using a foil code. I said when I do, I will. So I'm sorry, but
Have you
Gonna
Okay,
have to
well,
go
there's
down.
on Brian if he decides.
What?
Brian,
Yeah,
if you
I
decide
know,
to start
yeah.
investing, use Robinhood, and I will share my account with you.
Yeah, share
Actually,
the code.
all the listeners out there, if you want to get involved in Robinhood, talk to me.
Like I said, I'm taking this like really slow. I'm not like in any rush to.
I don't know about you, man, but I'm planning on buying these stocks and selling them this
You
next
should
day.
wait a little bit more, Girish. It's gonna go
No,
lower.
yeah.
Well, not even that, but I
know.
like. This is kind of like if anybody who knows me, I like to get really invested in. Haha, pun. But like no, but I
Trying to
really
make
like
this sound really calm, but we know he has a problem.
No.
Yeah,
in
Brian, you
terms of,
definitely
like-
will lose so much money.
No. Not like in terms of the thing, but like just if I want to get into something, I take it seriously where I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
learn as much as I can and I want to flesh out all the details. I don't just like jump into it half-assed or anything. I really want to make sure that I'm well equipped.
I mean, stocks are unpredictable, as we've learned from this movie.
Yeah, no, that's true.
No,
But
actually,
I mean,
he does
there's a
say. He
difference
says
between
no,
just like,
because
oh,
Matthew-
let me just buy now because everybody's buying now, and you know, sort of.
Yeah, but Matthew McConaughey says who knows what the stock price is gonna be, but then it's like, oh, he like that was kind of like at the beginning of the movie, you know?
Yeah. I think Matthew McConaughey's scene is like the thesis for the movie.
Like like when they're eating dinner,
Yeah.
or like lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the summary. You just watch that one scene and you're good.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
they're trying
honestly,
to basically like,
that's the
tell
plot
you
of the
the
movie.
entire movie.
I actually
Yeah.
think I saw the trailer for this movie, and I think that scene is like most of that scene is in the trailer. I think.
Really?
Like when he's like, I think the scene when he's talking to him, and like the whole play where you said is like, how do you get through this job while on like doing the stuff is like it's the only way I can get through. I think like most of his scenes in that,
Yeah.
most of his lines from that scene are in the trailer because like it's pretty expository.
Yeah, to me, it's not even a movie about like stocks. It's a movie about like addiction.
Stonks. yeah, it is.
Right.
Do you like Jordy Belfort as a character or not?
Jordan Belfort.
Who, me?
Is it Jordy? They call him Jordy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
swear
thought it
no
was
one's called him
Jordan.
Jordy.
I don't think I've
in the
heard of-
movie, his father calls him Jordy, I think, right? And his friends call him Jordy.
His father might, but I don't think
Jordy.
anyone else does.
Jordy, like Jordy, I think so. But anyway,
Yeah.
do you like him as a character or not?
I respect the hustle.
No, but like, would you like him or like?
So if I
he's a
met
full
Jordan
douchebag,
Belfort,
like, for
yeah,
sure.
you're not supposed to like him. He's like the whole character is like he's
So
a villain.
as you're watching the movie, you're rooting against him. Like you want him to.
I mean, like I don't feel bad when like bad shit happens to him, but like I'm not actively rooting against him.
So do you like him or not?
I don't
It's
like
a cop
him.
out. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like him. I'm not. You're not supposed to like him.
Okay.
Well, I love him.
I don't know. I think it's a little bit more complicated. Like, he's not just like the straight up villain
Yeah.
or whatever like that.
Yeah, that's true. But like you gotta admit, like the premise of his character though is like you're supposed to think of him like as
Yeah,
like,
he's kind of like a
douchebag, yeah.
sleazy guy. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alright, does anyone else have any personal impact stuff? Nope. Alright, then we'll move on to our last two categories, most underrated and most overrated. So, underrated, some stuff that I like that I don't think anyone has mentioned yet. So, I liked how there was a lot of A-list celebrities who just played very minor characters. Like, Matthew McConaughey has that one scene and then you never see him. Like, I kept waiting for him to come back in the movie and like...
It's
maybe
good that he
end up
doesn't
working
come
for
back
him.
though.
Yeah, like he was just there for that one scene. That was
Yeah.
it. We also had Rob Reiner, who plays Jordan's dad.
Yeah,
he
his
was only
dad,
there for
yeah.
that one scene, or not
Wait,
for one scene. He's only
he
there
was-
for minor scenes, like
Oh.
throughout the movie.
He was. Yeah, I thought he popped up a lot. Like he didn't have like
Yeah,
a
and then
major,
also
major
he
role,
come-
but he was consistently like he was.
He comes at all the major events, like he comes at
Yeah,
Jordan's
yeah, yeah.
wedding, and then he comes when
But
he's
it's not
like
like
And
the
also
one
John
scene.
Favreau.
yeah, John
Jon
Favreau,
Favreau was in
yeah,
this
yeah,
movie.
he is in this movie, yeah.
Who did you?
And like this is after like he's on
This is
Iron
after
Man and all
Iron
that
Man,
stuff,
yeah,
so,
because
yeah.
Iron Man, yeah. So he's
He's
actually a
pretty
big
big
deal.
right now.
Yeah.
Who did he play?
I
Some
don't even
the
know. I think he was
SEC
just
He's
like
like
one of
some random
the
dude in the
FBI
Wall Street, I think.
dudes.
No, he
So
was
the
he was
FBI.
like from the SEC, I think.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
I think
like a
so.
lawyer
Yeah.
for the company or something like that.
Oh, then he had a really
Yeah.
minor role.
I also said all the drug scenes. Those are all like really well done. I don't
It's
think
underrated that they did all of those sober, yeah.
So like it's interesting like when I was like reading the trivia and it's like what they used for cocaine. They used crushed up vitamin B like
Yeah.
tablets, and apparently Jonah Hill like snorted so much that he had to go to the hospital.
That's such a Jonah Hill
I mean,
thing.
you can't
He got
snort
bronchitis or
anything you
something.
Can I say-
to an extent.
Can I say
bro.
Jonah Hill is underrated? Because I feel
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
that's,
say
that's
that.
one of mine. Jonah Hill's
Yeah, that was mine
so
too.
good. He's so good in this movie.
See, Jonah Hill has this thing like every serious movie that he's in, like this one, Django, like Moneyball, like he always plays like very, like he's like funny for like a side character, but he's also just like you like him, like you just like watching him.
Wait, Jonah Hill was in Django?
Yeah, he literally the most minor part. Like he was
Oh.
just like a cowboy.
Yeah,
I don't even
remember.
remember. Oh yeah, he was. No, yeah, I remember. He was
It's
in
enough
that,
to make you
he
say,
was in-
"Huh, that's Jonah Hill," but like not actually.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Jonah Hill was so good in this movie.
All right, do you like Jonah Hill's character then? If you, Donnie.
He's so stupid, but
I
like
don't
he's
know.
like
he seems. I don't want to say this on the podcast, but see, he reminds me of someone.
okay.
I
Just tell
think
me
I-
after.
Yeah, I'll do, but like,
Okay.
I
So
don't want to
do you like him
reveal
or
their
not?
name.
Do you like this person that he reminds you of?
No, he seems like an asshole.
Okay. I'm just
But he's like-
curious.
He
I like
seems
him-
more
I
of
like
an
him more
asshole
than Jordan,
because
though.
at least
You like
Jordan's
him
like
more
a
than
good
Jordan?
salesman.
I like him more than Jordan. He's
I
funny.
I like him more than
Jordan
Jordan
more,
just-
and it's not
I like
even
him more
close.
than
Brad
Jordan
straight
just
up
'cause he's
hates
like-
him. I'm
'cause
assuming
he's-
Brad like wants to kill him. Like he got him arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That's
Like that
so
whole
fucking
scene
amazing.
is so stupid.
That scene is so good.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the reasons I don't like his character that much. Is like he has this air of like,
he rats out people, yeah.
well, not even that. He just like he just feels like he's better and above everybody else when he like forgot that he literally was making children's furniture or something like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, like at least Jordan Belfort's confidence was like there the whole entire time. Like you see this guy who's like, I don't know, just like got all this cocky attitude, and I don't even know how much he can attribute that to his actual own skill or whatever. But I don't know. That's why, and I think there are some characteristics of Jordan Belfort that are likable and are worthy of.
Hey, I will
Enough
say I respect his determination and hustle. So
Yeah, exactly. There's like.
I guess he's a hard-working man.
All right, my last underrated thing was out of all of the nude scenes that we saw, and out of all the many of them, we never saw a penis. That's underrated.
No, you
Like,
did. You did.
Whose?
Donnie was
You see Jonah
masturbating.
Hills. Yeah, you see Jonah Hills.
When?
Like
When
when
he
you first
masturbates
meet
to,
Naomi.
Naomi in that party.
Is that a thing though in movies?
Oh,
Is it
I
like-
thought they
you
just
see
cut it
it.
right when he pulled it
No,
out. I
no,
didn't
no,
see
you
it.
can
No,
see it.
you like see him like falling over, and you like see the outline. I'm like, is that Jonah Hill's penis? Like I was
No, you can
surprised.
clearly see it.
Yeah.
Really? It wasn't
Yeah,
as
yeah.
obvious.
Guess-
It wasn't as obvious to me. Where like the point is.
I mean, it's
My
not
mind
like a
just
big
blocked it
deal.
out.
It's not a big deal, but like you see something swinging, and you're like, oh, but like it's like very like it's very like
Is
it's a
there-
small detail.
I think I brought this up earlier. What you said, there's no cap on rated R, but like, why do you think? Like, is there any like unspoken?
There are
rule?
rules of like what you can and can't put on. 'Cause, like, I don't think you can show like actual like sex. Like, you can't show like penetration, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
And like violence wise, you can't show like certain things, but I don't know exactly like what the rules are.
Mhm.
Seems
My-
like you can do pretty much whatever you
My
want.
theory is that you just don't see as much dick is because they're probably catering to the male audience for this movie anyway. So they're like, well, you know, it's fine if we show ass and boobs, but it'd probably turn off the audience if. It
I
was
mean, in
over.
general, though, you don't like.
Yeah.
That's not just this movie.
Yeah, in
though.
general in movies you don't see.
I wonder what that.
It's because it's not as attractive as like boobs, basically. Is the idea
that makes sense.
supposedly?
And he's like, I've been told.
All right.
So I've been told.
I mean,
Any other?
I agree with it. So I mean, I don't know.
It's like, yeah, like I guess that's equality, but
Yeah, I didn't really
Anyway.
have any other
other underrated stuff. Did you guys have anything?
It's a pretty aptly rated movie.
Girish, you say this for every movie.
I know, because we only review good movies.
I always have I struggle with like
Well,
this.
I said Jonah Hill.
borderline
Other than
overrated.
Jonah Hill, I think Jonah Hill's a pretty underrated part, but like other than that, I don't have much.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Alright,
struggle with it.
If you guys don't have anything else, we'll move to our last category, most overrated. So, I'll start with what I think the obvious one is. I think 3 hours is too long for this movie.
Yeah.
Like
That was my
the first
opinion.
the first hour of the movie was very good. Like it was probably my favorite part of the movie, but it definitely slumped like in the middle, and then like I didn't think it picked up that much towards the end. Like it could have been at least like 30 minutes shorter.
What would you have cut out?
That's the thing.
Um,
I don't know what you cut out.
Yeah, everything seems kind of essential.
I think there's a lot of stuff in the middle that's just like. Or
Do you think his wedding
so-
is necessary? Actually, no, it is necessary because that's when you meet his aunt. Yeah, or the aunt.
Because
I think like
Well,
a
I
lot
was-
of the sex and drug scenes are like a lot of them are the same thing over and over again. So
But I
like,
think that's
point-
the point.
Yeah,
That's the
is,
point,
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think I don't know. Like I'm kind of conflicted on whether it's overrated or underrated. But
that
like-
what, the sex scenes are.
no, the length, right?
Okay.
Like that's
It's
one of the main
definitely
reasons.
not underrated.
no, I like.
It's definitely not underrated.
You
I
wanted
like-
it to be longer.
You wanted it to be longer?
No, not that I wanted it to be longer. Just the fact, well, because everyone shits on it, so like it becomes like underrated,
I guess I
right?
see what you're saying.
Like, what are you
I
gonna
don't know.
cut? Because like, do you really want
Yeah.
less?
I
In
feel
my
like yeah, a lot of
opinion,
the stuff
I
was
like.
essential.
I was gripped throughout the whole entire movie, and yeah, you say the sex and drug scenes could have been shorter, but if you actually
it was a
look
point,
back at the
yeah.
movie, there are very few scenes where it's like just like scenes of sex and drugs. It's like it's always using that.
Yeah, I'm actually struggling to think. I'm
It's using
struggling to
that
think,
as like
what made
another
this movie so
like
long.
another purpose or something like that. Like you see partying, but it's partying so he meets Naomi, or you see them like you see them having sex, but it shows that they're like that's when they first fall in love with each other, or you see when the last time that they have sex is because she's gonna file for a divorce. It's like there's very few times where they like are just doing drugs just to do drugs. It's like it's helped to drive the story. It might happen a lot, which is why people might get the impression that it's excessive, but I think it's all part of the plot, which is why I think 3 hours was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I know we're on overrated right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but I have an underrated thing.
That
Is that
Mhm.
like just the different, like you have fourth wall breaks, you have like narration. You have like flashbacks. You have like slow motion. It's just like insane.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is like you're on a drug trip, you know? And like after 3 hours you're done. You're like, what the hell did I just watch? I think that's pretty underrated.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the fact
a good
that
one, actually.
you can. I mean, you say it did slump, which I do tend to agree. But the fact that like it does keep up like that absurdity throughout the entire movie is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I think this is my second overrated thing, and I think it kind of explains why I thought the movie was long. I said after a while you kind of become numb to the like all of the nude and drug scenes. Like you kind of just like accept that they're part of the movie.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it makes it feel like it's longer than it is. Like I said, obviously all the scenes are exaggerated because like no person can actually like do this many drugs and like have that semblance of functionality.
You'd be surprised, but anyway,
maybe I don't know. But I felt like with all the drug scenes over and over, it kind of became like it's like that one person whose only personality trait is that they do drugs. Like that's all they think about. That's all they talk about. So that's why I guess it felt for me like it was a little bit repetitive.
I mean, he was trying to portray himself as a drug addict, so it makes sense, right? Like he even says it himself.
But he was like a fun drug addict. Like at no point was he like, yeah, this is a problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was definitely different than Shallow, or not Shallow. A Star Is Born. Like it was definitely a different kind of drug problem.
That's a different drug problem. Yeah.
But
or at least the way it was portrayed.
Oh, dude, I forgot to talk about the funding.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah. So let me get into it. Okay, so basically, this movie was not like funded by like a company. It was produced like it was funded independently. So like apparently there's this guy who's a son, like he has generational wealth, right? So he's just like born into wealth. He's like he basically like ends up deciding to start this like hedge fund of sorts, I think. Some fund basically just to invest and like accumulate money and all that stuff. And he meets up with like Leo and Martin Scorsese and is like, I want to fund your movie. I'll give you like all this money, just like do whatever you want with it. So one of the things is that Martin Scorsese had like complete control over like what he wanted to do. So that's also one of the reasons that this movie is like a little bit more like
raunchy.
whack. It's because like he had total control, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also something that's underrated. The fact that he got so much control. Funnily enough, the guy who funded this was apparently embezzling money from the Malaysian government. Yeah. So like he got I don't know exactly what happened to him, but like they had like more like Leo and Martin Scorsese like returned all the money and all this stuff.
That's so
really?
funny.
Wait, so they used the profits of the movie to pay off the movie.
I guess I don't exactly.
It was
know
essentially a loan.
Yeah.
Wait,
I think so. I'm not exactly sure.
You said he had generational wealth though, right?
Right. Yeah,
and
but
and like on top of that, he was a
because
his forefathers was
the money that he embezzled from the government was used to fund the movie.
Oh, but he already had a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah, but he didn't want to give all of it for the movie.
Oh, so he embezzled.
Yeah, that's actually insane.
Which is like an amazing like metaphor.
It's so funny for this entire movie.
Yeah.
I know.
I think it's just like amazing.
Do you know how much was embezzled?
Let me see.
What was the budget of the movie?
Producers had to pay $60 million. I don't know. Let me check.
Oh, that is hefty.
That's all.
Shoot. Okay. Apparently 681 million went to his personal bank account, where he used the fund to like spend lavishly and all this stuff. So like DiCaprio had to like surrender apparently this like the statue or something to like appease them. I don't even know, man. Like they all got involved. It was insane. They didn't like do anything wrong, but like they just like had to pay stuff.
They had to go on Wall Street and make some money so they could pay him.
I could see that. Like I feel like a lot of the scenes, I was like, man, they really did go all out. Like this is some nice. I mean, they just have like driving Porsches and stuff, and they have the yachts.
Yeah, they had unlimited money, so like I mean,
they had the entire Malaysian government's money to spend. So.
Alright, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Other overrated stuff. I said Naomi being mad at Jordan for sleeping around just seems kind of weird because like the way they got together is he cheated on his wife with her, then he consistently has girls over at the office. So it's like, does she not know about it, or is it like supposed to be like that?
Also, wasn't she with a dude when they met at the party? I think that was the whole
Yeah.
thing, right? So like she knows, but I mean
He had strippers on the plane on the way to their wedding.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
No, but that's the bachelor's party.
Yeah, that's the
I guess, but
No, I think it's one of those things where it's like it's not rational. It's like, oh yeah, of course it's fine if she goes around from guy to guy, but as soon as someone does that to her, she's like, oh, this is unacceptable. And maybe it's a part of like she did have one or two.
I can understand the
kids with
drug
her.
addiction and why she'd be mad at that.
Yeah, but like it's also like
Yeah.
in the beginning maybe she's just fucking around, but they did get married and she did have 2 children with him, right? So like maybe after a while she did get like
Maybe she's like, yeah, grow up.
Yeah.
That could be it. Okay, last thing I had was how many people were working at Stratton Oakmont, because it seems like the entire floor is packed and they always have parties with like an insane amount of people. I feel like it's exaggerated just for the sake of like showing how many people were into it, but it seems like there was like a shit ton of people at that point.
Yeah.
How many people do you think would be in the company?
I don't how much does a stockbroker firm have? Like, I guess like 100 people.
Seems about right, yeah.
I mean, I don't actually know, so I'm not gonna.
Well, yeah,
pass
but
my
like
judgment
I
there.
could see that in New York, I could easily see an office floor just filled. And this is also like in the 1970s.
Oh,
like,
true. It is dense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
So.
Any other overrated stuff you guys have?
Not really.
Mm-hmm. Not really.
No.
There's that scene at the end where the FBI agent is on the bus. So, like, that's kind of a callback to their meeting where he's like, you're just gonna take like your bus ride home.
Yeah, no, I think the whole point. Yeah, the point is like, does he regret not taking the bribe from Jordan? You know,
he thinks about it.
and
so.
because he looks at his life now and he's like, I did all this work. I like brought this man to justice, and now I got to go back on this like shitty ass subway system. You know, like what would have happened if I did take the bribe?
Oh yeah, that's a good. I didn't
Yo.
really pay attention.
I just know I had captions on and Google censored me for saying shitty. So I keep going.
Not on my good Christian Minecraft server. Anyone have anything else they want to add about this movie? It's a good pick, Anish.
What's that?
Good job, Anish.
Oh,
good
thanks.
pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, we are done with our episode. This has been Overrated Quarantine Edition.
Probably the first
check out
of many
Anish's,
you do.
Check out Anisha's podcast, The Break, whenever it comes out. I'll be sure to share it.
Probably next year.
Fuck up.
I know, not all seriousness though. Check out Anisha's podcast when it comes out.
But yeah, continue to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm gonna be making Insta for this, probably this week because I'm so bored right now.
Nice.
Yo, take a picture of the screen right now so you can do the first post.
I was going to after we're done recording, but yeah. But otherwise, yeah. Thanks for listening. Everyone stop recording at the same time. Are you ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.